Hi everybody, it's David Fleming here from the Toronto Realty blog, and welcome to this week's Pick 5. Now this week I am, as you can tell, back in my office. If you missed last week's, I filmed it while parenting. Yes, parenting. I used to call it babysitting. My wife said, "You're not babysitting your child. Babysitting is what someone else does. You are parenting. You're just being human." Anyways, I was home and my wife left and she said, "He'll be fine for 2 hours." And as soon as she left, he started crying. So I basically held him like this for an entire Pick 5, which was really tough on my shoulder. But enough about me. Guys, the market's nuts. You know that, right? You can read the newspaper, you watch these videos, you read the blogs. This week, there are 2 sales I want to draw your attention to. Both were on Tuesday night, interestingly enough. Let's take a look. So, if you're looking at this and you're confused, that makes 2 of us. This is $800,000 for a 1-bedroom condo. It's not a mistake. This actually happened. Now I know it's a penthouse. Yay! OMG, it's the penthouse. Who gives a flying... It's a penthouse. It's the top level of the building. This doesn't mean anything. You got a 20-story building. Cool. You're on the 20th floor. Who cares? Who cares? A penthouse in common vernacular is like if you're in New York and you have an absurd property with 14-foot ceilings, ridiculous finishes, a helipad on the roof, 5,000 square feet. Oh, it's a penthouse. This is a 1-bedroom condo. Just happens to be on the top level. Who cares? Because I know I don't. Someone paid $800,000 for a 1-bedroom condo at DNA 3. Do you know where this is? It's at King and Shaw. So, like, don't get me wrong. Love this location. Love this building. Love this layout, etc., etc. Hyperbole. What I don't understand is how someone paid $800,000 for a 1-bedroom condo. There were 18 offers on this. Okay, this is 650 square feet, I do believe. $1,231 a square foot. I've seen 1231s, but it's usually with 400 square foot condos, where it's about the absolute and not the relative. I cannot and refuse to get over this sale. The next listing is very interesting as well. 523 Greenwood Avenue. Now, looks nice, right? Cool little house. It's a 2-bed, 2-bath. The second bathroom is a 2-piece, which is on the main floor, because the basement's unfinished. So this isn't a 4-piece downstairs, where there's another bedroom or a rec room. It's an unfinished basement. It has no parking. There's a 2-piece. It's 12.99 feet wide, and it's sold for $945,000. Now, I had an offer on this last night. So this is not sour grapes. This is me saying that when I submitted my offer for $900,000, I didn't tell the clients this, but I was about 90% sure we were getting this. There were 8 offers. Now, where is this property located? That's the interesting part. It is right across from the Greenwood yard. So, TTC Greenwood. So, look, you're steps to the Danforth. You are steps to the subway. But I had to figure there would be something to be said for the fact that this is right across from the rail yard and it's on a 13-foot lot. So look, my clients wanted this. I wanted it for them. They liked the wood inside the house. They loved the location. They're first-time buyers. I told them it's going to be really tough to get anything for $850-ish, right? They're like, okay, we can go to $900,000. So it's not sour grapes. I thought we had it. $900,000. Guys, $900,000 and it's ours. And someone beat us by $45,000. It's 2-bedroom. It's no parking, unfinished basement, and it's across from the Greenwood rail yard, which my guys were like, you know what, more natural light, we can see the CN Tower. I get you, right? Street parking, that's the best part about that area. So those 2 sales, I cannot get over them. I refuse to get over them. This week I want to do something different. We're going to look at a price point. We're going to look at $999. $999. Feels like I'm at the dollar store. Actually, no, they sell things for $1. Okay? Feels like I'm at the hardware store buying a hammer. $999, everything. Not $10, $9.99. I would love to know, in business school, they should teach this. When did people start doing everything with the 99 cents? If I had to guess, the 50s? You know, because I mean, you go back long enough and a loaf of bread was 5 cents. But when did it become, let's not charge $2, let's make it $1.99. Let's not charge $1 million, $9.99. So it's a cool price point. The frustrating part about this price point is that $9.99 could go for $1.1 million or it could go for $1.4 million. So we see this a lot under $1 million, where, and look, I'm doing it too. I've got a property I was going to price at $799. Now I'm going to price it $899. Why? Because it's a different strategy. You've got properties. I had one last year that I actually did price at, I think, $899. We got $1.3 million, right? So it's sold for 150% of list. Everyone's different when it comes to their pricing strategy. And today we're going to look at these 5 properties, some of which have been on the market, one of which is its own last comp. Did you follow me on that? This property is its own last comp. We'll get to that. It's the second property. So here is our data set, guys. We got 4 on the east side and 1 just downtown. That's the one we're going to start with here. So it's 453 Queen Street East. So you see that location, you think, well, this must be some sort of freehold or something. No, it's not. This is an original house. By original, I mean it's 100+ years old. So we'll go to the map and take a look at exactly where it is. It's in this little pocket. If you've ever been driving, where is their frame reference? Yes, Sumac. So there's not a bad little stretch here. I've been in this bar a couple times, believe it or not. And then it gets kind of scuzzy as you go down this way. But there's this one block here that's actually kind of nice. So let's take a look at the house itself. You could probably walk by this 1,000,000 times and not know it's there. See this big building here? There's a company called Vistech here, where I rented a camera. This is before cameras had, cell phones had cameras. I rented a camera for like $600 on a ski trip, where, get this, I'm literally like an old man talking about walking through the snow, getting to work. We got 30 rolls of film, which was like $8. And we were taking photos of ourselves going off a jump with a shutter lens. It's like, it cost us $500 to rent a world-class camera. This was in the year, oh my God. No, it couldn't have been 1999. Was it the millennium? No, I was bartending at Shark City. This would have been 2001. This was 2001 in December. Actually, that's like 20 years ago. So anyways, we rented a camera for $500. We spent like $400 on film and got all the photos developed, and they all look like crap. Now you have something called a digital camera. Cool story, Dave. So Vistech, I'm sorry, that's the way my mind works. So across the street here, you can see these are beautiful old Victorians. They're all a little bit different, right? You got an old original brick one. This one's kind of funky. It looks like something that might be in like, I don't know, like a Ravensburger 1,000-piece puzzle. Because I actually have one of those with these colorful houses somewhere in Scandinavia. Yellow one, interesting. I don't know, I'm kind of privy to the gray one. It's kind of simple. Anyways, so that's what we're looking at, is this little block here. And these are more modern towns, but these are pretty cool. You could drive by them 1,000,000 times and not know they're there, because you'd probably be looking at Vistech. Did I mention I rented a camera from there once? So this listing is $999. It's a 3-bed, 2-bath, and there is a basement. It is finished. It does have a bathroom. So no parking space. We've got electric baseboard heat, but we're right in the heart of downtown Toronto. And with 1-bedroom condo selling for $800,000, all of a sudden, $999 for an actual freaking house doesn't seem so bad. So it's not going to be huge inside. Interesting, their choice of decor is somewhat Victorian to go with this era. Nice little red door. Could be original pine floors. Here you can see the electric baseboard. Not a huge house, right? That's your living, dining. This cool little roll-top desk. Oh, that's neat. Wow. There's your kitchen. It's modern. It's more upgraded. A little bit of exposed brick. Fine. We've got stainless steel appliances. Our dining room is in the kitchen. Pot lights. Wiring's more than likely been done. Black wall for accent I don't love because it makes the room feel dark. But it's a bit of a hodgepodge, right? See the color of these pots? Okay, that's how you can tell these things are burned. They're probably from the 90s or early 2000s. And again, super dark. Don't love it. Should have brightened it up. I would have painted that if it was me. If my client said no, I would have been like, you know what? I'm going to pay for it. Because I want to put my mouth where my money is. You're going to do better if we can paint everything white and use pops of color. So really big bedroom for a downtown Toronto house, downtown freehold. These are original floors, probably pine, that are painted white. You can see here with the glass railing, we've got a little bit of modern flair. That's your second bedroom, original stained glass, very cool. And then up top, that's your third bedroom, right? So the question is there a bathroom up here? If yes, functional bedroom for those of us that pee in the middle of the night. So to be honest, I'm not sure if this is the bathroom there. I don't think it is. Nice little brick accent, looks like the original chimney, and then you've got 2 skylights. So it's nice to have up there. This is the basement bedroom, as you can see here. Again, electric heat, above grade window, ceiling height looks decent, upgraded with some pot lights. So overall, and again, I might make this a rec room to be honest, because the main floor living space is a bit snug. So overall, I like it. hot tub, okay. Barbecue, right? It's a freehold, right? And we go back, there's no photo of the front. So where were we? Third floor loft. Yeah, okay, so there is no bathroom there. So you can see here, 1 3-piece in the basement, 1 3-piece doesn't say, but I'm gonna assume that the bedroom at the top does not have a bathroom. So it's a loft. I don't think you're making that into your master. Even still, we have a finished basement where they have called it a bedroom. Make that your rec room if this space here is not sufficient. If you want this to be maybe a little seating area and a huge dining, whatever it is, it's versatile. So for $999, then the big question is, what's it worth? What's it going to sell for? If you wanted to compare to what condos are going for in the area, geez, it's a pretty good trade-off, right? It doesn't have parking. It's electric baseboard heat. There's maintenance on it. It's a freehold. It's on Queen. There's a lot that are going both for and against this thing when you compare it to a condo. You have to decide, do I want a freehold if I'm going to be downtown? Do I want a condo? Different type of lifestyle, maybe a different bit of a price point. So for this particular listing, there's no comps out there, guys. I'm going to show you the listing history for this property. So first of all, they paid $982 for this. When? In September of 07. So September of 07. $1,049,000 list, $982. That was kind of what was happening in September 07. If you remember, things were absolutely crazy and then they dropped off. In the fall market, yeah, you might see something like this. So knowing that they paid $982, you're going to laugh. You're going to say, oh, they're priced at $999 now. That's the game, right? So they tried it at $999 when? They tried it at $999 in October of last year. Same situation, right? Holding back offers. And then what did they do? They put it up for $1,179,000. That was right afterwards, right? Here we are. In October. So we know what they're looking for. Tried at $1,149,000 again, right? And now here they are at $999. So they paid $972 for the place in 2017. They had it at $999, didn't work. Put it at $1,179,000 and $1,149,000. What's working for them now, and here's where you kind of get frustrated, is that the market's gone up, right? So it's not like these are geniuses that timed it. The market has naturally gone up since then. So I'm maxing this thing out at 1.1. Reason being, they had $1,149,000 last year, didn't sell. Who knows? Maybe they had an offer of $1,140,000 and they're stupid and didn't take it. I don't know. The market has moved, but I don't think it's moved that much. Could it sell for $1,150,000? Yes. Could it sell for $1,050,000? Yes, probably not. But again, that's why I think this thing is probably around $1,001,000. Now, when I give you prices like this, you always have to remember, you do not know until offer date and offer time. So if I tell you it's $1,001,000 and all of a sudden 7 o'clock p.m. on offer night, there's 19 offers, it's going a hell of a lot higher than that. By the same token, if there's 2 offers and just you, well, there's a chance that it goes for under that. So I think it's a good buy at $1,001,000. There's nothing I dislike about it. It doesn't have parking, but what kind of freehold downtown of this size and this price point does, I could see this thing going up to $1,150,000. There it is. Okay, so let's go to the next one here, guys, which is taking us to a different area. Almost Leslieville, right? That's my joke. Almost Leslieville. Now, most people are going to call this Leslieville, and I've told you this a million times. Where is Leslieville? Google tells us it's at Jones and Dundas. Not really. Leslie itself is down and around here. So Leslieville proper is, well, if this is Riverside, somewhere around Jimmy Simpson. Carlaw keeps going, but some of the nicest streets are in and around here. Brooklyn Burtmount. I mean, Hastings is Leslieville. Alton's Leslieville. I mean, this is almost Leslieville. Right? And do you really care that much about the name? So I like that this is at Greenwood Park. Oh, I took my daughter skating there last week. Do you know what that's like? The schlep to get all the way over there, put the skates on, put the helmet on, get out there. I don't like skating. Can I put up a photo of my daughter skating? Yeah, that's my daughter skating. Notice how she's not skating. She's not on the ice. She was standing there and watching kids play hockey. And I tried. I said, see those girls over there? They have the same pink helmet as you. Didn't want to do it. So we went for chicken fingers and fries. Anyways, I love being close to Greenwood Park. This thing is, what, 5-6 houses in? So location's awesome. It, for all intents and purposes, is Leslieville. Okay, I'm being a little bit facetious. And, you know, it's a pretty good house. It's a real box checker. I don't know that there's anything else that we're missing here. I will say there is no family room on the main floor, right? They've put a Y there. It's not a family room. 3-bed plus 1. Again, couldn't find that extra bedroom. Try as I might, could not find it. because there isn't one, it's a rec room. And you do have 2 bathrooms that are full. So it's wide, it's 20 feet, it's a mutual drive, parking kind of in and around the back, but like literally in your backyard. Let's take a look. So, love to get a front parking pad here, you're not going to. You do have a very wide mutual. So for those of you that are concerned about driving through a very, 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 very narrow mutual drive where maybe a Model T Ford could go through and not your SUV, this is good enough. So inside we've got a fairly nice updated house. Again, you can see whether it's the crown molding you're looking at, whether it's the newer pot lights, whether it's the smooth ceiling, the older materials that we're looking for, that swirled ceiling that your grandmother had, that crappy original crown molding that's cracked to hell, the big clunky pot lights that they had in the 90s. This thing is updated. Windows are new, right? Flooring is newer. It's a great real estate term. Notice the table leg here is far enough away from the wall that we can say, oh, it's not the power of staging, the magic staging. Yes, you can actually pull this table out and sit there. One of the things to always look for, guys, when you have the table leg that's right here, that's when they push the table up against the wall, hoping you won't notice. You're going to think the property's wider than it is. But this is a 20-foot lot. It's wide enough. Nice kitchen. Got no issues with this whatsoever. Go up to the big bedroom. That's a king. Brick accent people go nuts for. Cool sliding door. Oh, more brick accent in a second. 3rd bedroom. Bathroom's been redone. And the basement. There is no bedroom. Keep in mind, this is a rec room. Now, what about out back? That's out front. Out back, you don't have any grass. Who cares? No lawn to cut, right? I got a barbecue. I got a seating area. I got a frickin' chimenea. And I've got a porch with no handrail. These people party. You can tell. Look at their lights. So there's nothing wrong with this house. I love this house. I would love to see one of my clients in this house. Now, the fun part here, guys, what's the comp for this? Well, the comp for this is this. Yes, this is interesting. This house sold, wait for it, May of last year. So the scaredy cat says, oh, there must be something wrong with it. No, you're going to lose in real estate with that attitude, okay? Don't always look for the downside. Look for the plus side. These guys are selling, 9 months later? Opportunity. They paid $1,090,000. What's it going to sell for now? You didn't get it last year for $1,090,000 because you weren't in the market. You can get it now. It's the same house. It's great. It's even better. Maybe there's some upgrades. What's it going to sell for now? This is the part I'm really struggling with. You guys know as well as I do. If we're just going to add 10% to this, it's $1.2 million. Now, has the market gone up 10% in a year? This was only 9 months ago. Has the market gone up 10% in 9 months? Probably not. And yet I can't help but think that this is going to go for more than $1.2 million because of the market. Let's just say, for argument's sake, just humor me, $300,000. If it goes $300,000, I can't think. I did get 5.5 hours of sleep last night, which is pretty good for me. 1.3 is what I meant. So we're going to do the $210,000 divided by the $1,090,000 that they bought it for. So it's a 19.3% return. But remember, that's only 9 months. So divide by 9 times 12, it's a 26% return per annum. This could sell for $1,300,000. I hope to God it does not. This is a $1.2 million house. A $1.2 million house. So again, let's just mess with that number, okay? Let's say that this sells for $1.2 million. 110 divided by 1090 equals, okay? Divided by 9 equals times 12. That would be an annualized return of 13.5%. Has the semi-detached market gone up 13.5%? Not on paper. In reality, probably. I would not hesitate to sell this house for $1.2 million right now. This house has everything. Maybe not the parking space. And maybe it's not your prime area of Leslieville. But for what it is, I love the layout, I love the finishes, I like the bedroom in the basement, the master bedroom at the front of the house, it fits a king-size bed. It's awesome. I'm going to move on because I don't want to belabor this one. Okay. I just love how the comp is the comp, right? All right. 1007 Dundas. So now we're at a $999 for 2-bed, 2-bath listing. No basement. Check this bad boy out. So is this thing going to sell for a crazy number, $200,000, $300,000 over list? Well, I'll tell you this, it shouldn't. So it's a 13 by 64 foot lot. Not too big. Now, if you're familiar with this area, if you're ever going north on Degrassi and there's this little parkette, I've done a Pick 5 before about the unit here that backed onto the park. And I was like, that's so cool. It backs onto the park. Where are you going to get that? It's not that complex. That's these ones here. These are a little bit older. So let's drag them in here and I'll show you what I'm talking about. These here, these are the ones that are newer, and one of those backed onto that park and was up for sale last year. These ones down here are older and they're a little bit smaller. So what do we think this is worth? It's a 2-bed, 2-bath. And you know, this is really interesting because I had clients that looked at 83 Pape, Unit 7, and it was an older townhouse. It was just off Pape. Beautiful location. And for these guys, it was affordability, right? Like we could go to one too. And I said, wouldn't you like to, you know, find something at the low end of your budget? You could buy this place. I think it's sold for $950. And it was like, no, you know what? This isn't right for us. We want a freehold. So now you're into that freehold, but you're still in that 2-bed, 2-bath, and you don't have the lower level. So what's the space like? And you can talk to me about the finishes, I guess, right? 1, 2, 3 levels. The finishes are probably going to be a little bit dated. You have a front door. Great. That feels to me like a freehold. It's not condominium. Got a little 2-piece here, right? Main floor is literally just storage space. Now we're up a level. We've got our living. We've got our dining, and we've got our kitchen. It's a really big footprint in terms of the depth. This thing goes way back. Look at the size of that kitchen. Now, is it worn? Yes. Is this in style? No. But finishes aside, this is a pretty darn good spot. And look, space back here. So let me just rewind. Check this out, okay? Living, dining, kitchen. Are you with me? You with me? Other dining. It's awesome. This place is huge. So if you've seen condo townhouses that are in King West, for example, a lot of these things are like 900 grand and you cannot eat dinner anywhere but your couch or your bar stools. This place has room for a 6-person table here, and it has this foretop. Now don't get me wrong, I don't understand it. I wouldn't have staged it like this. I don't like it. But if this was to be your actual dining room, this could be, I don't know, an office, another TV room, excuse me. It has a ton of space, and that's the point that I'm trying to make. So then you go upstairs, we've got a king-size bed, great space, decent closet space as well. We've got a 2nd bedroom here, bathroom, little deck, and that's it. So what's this thing gonna sell for? And you know what? With this market right now, anything's possible. It's worth more than $1 million. I'll tell you that right off the bat, because the place that sold on Pape, which was not the best, right? It was a great location, an opportunity to renovate and add some value. That place sold for $950. Then we're looking at like the Hiltz place, which I think is 1.2. So I'll show you this. The 2 comps we have, guys, are the ones next door. It's been a long time since one of these little ones sold. So you've got $1,321,000 here for a 2-bed plus 1, 3-bath, and this is in the bigger complex. So just to show you, right? Totally different product. Totally different. To me, I think that's a waste of space when you've got that high ceiling, but such is life. So you're $1,321,000, and this thing sold in 2018. So then you've got $1,285,000, and this is in April of last year. So maybe a little bit smaller unit. So now we're going to go back here and say $999. It's not those units. This is not 1.2. So again, anything can happen in this crazy market. To me, this should be $1,050,000, $1,001,000. This can't go for more than $1,001,000. It can't, because it doesn't make sense based on comps, which means that it likely will. Don't shoot the messenger. I'm just saying, crazy things are happening. My job is to protect my clients from doing something crazy. And by that, I don't mean, I'm going on a tangent, I'm just going to tell you. Let's say a guy I know has a client that went to make an offer on family day when some genius was taking offers. So right off the bat, you know that this idiot has left money on the table because people are not going to necessarily be in abundance to offer on family day. Could have had this place for $10,000 over list, $650, sold for $660, and decides, says, I'm with my family and they don't think that this is a good decision. Okay, writes back to this person and says, I think we missed an opportunity here, and you know what's coming. Ready? Ready? The email comes. The market's really hot right now, and I think I'm just going to wait for things to cool. Great. You know what? I've heard that a lot over the last 16 years. Not to sound like a salesman. Let me tell you what a person that said at $300,000, I don't want to pay $320. I'm going to wait for the market to cool. Then they came back to me 2 years later, bought $400,000 when they came to their senses, sold the goddamn place for $700 and took that $3,000 equity and bought a house. Guys, crazy things are happening out there. So I'm not saying crazy things are happening. Sit and wait. Heed my advice. Pick your spot. If this thing sells for $1.2 million, it is not worth it. It is absolutely positively not worth it because Hiltz is $1.2 million, because Pape sold for $950,000, because the properties next door are selling for $1.2 million. It doesn't mean it won't happen. So my advice to you, and I should have done this at the very end, but as you know, I go off on these rants. My advice to you is, don't think that this market is so red hot and it's going to drop 30% because some guy at your office says so, even though he rents in Milton. But pick your spots. Okay, can you tell I've been drinking coffee all day? Well, let's move on to the next one. 145 Holborne. This is a tough one to price. I'll tell you that right off the bat. $999 list. We have a detached house. It's narrow. It's on a 20-foot lot. It's a 3-bed, 3-bath. You got a 2-piece, a 4-piece, and a 4-piece. So you do not have a master ensuite. You have a bedroom in the basement. You have a finished basement. It's got a rec room down there. And you know what? The house is actually in pretty good shape. So maybe not the nicest to look at from the outside. Kind of a cottagey feel to it. But inside, deceiving, right? Would you expect this exterior to have such a nice interior? I probably wouldn't have. Now, what I can tell when I walk in, based on the door right in my face, which is maybe originally where a staircase would have gone, and this couch kind of staring at this wall, is that this is a narrow lot. This is a 20-foot lot. So great staging in here. This is a great photo that makes this place look way bigger. I've got 1, I've got 2, I've got 3 windows. I've got 2 couches, and here's my dining. But if you really look at this, I mean, this is your foyer. And there's a chair right next to where you're going to take off your shoes. So here you can see a 4-person dining. It's really room for 6. At the back, kitchen, kind of miniaturized, right? Not a huge island. Bar stools are a bit overkill. Say what you want about the decor. I'm looking more at the size. Master, 2 closets. 2nd, staging bed pushed against the wall. 3rd, double, decent space, IKEA against the wall. Bathroom. Basement's finished. I would have got rid of that for sure. This literally feels like a townhouse in Ajax. And then you've got a pretty decent rec room for a house of this generation and ilk. This is your 2 heating ducts. So there's your basement bathroom. There's your backyard. It's really not pretty, and that's probably the rub here, right? Mutual drive, you can fit a car. It's all concrete, right? We're patching it up here. We're hopefully got some window well action here, or at least above grade windows. If you don't, you got to make sure the water's not getting down through there. I can already see it pooling everywhere. Can we get another shot? Okay, perfect. So we've got parking here, we've got deck here. This is your lot line. This is where we're parking our car in our own backyard. And then we've got a deck, so it's kind of like we've got a deck here, which is ugly as hell. We're going to step down to concrete, which is ugly, walk past our garbage and walk up to a deck, which we've fenced around so that we can park our car, right? Let's be honest, that's what that is. And then we plow it and we push it over here, little fire pit. So again, $999, great buy. What's it going to sell for? Right? What are the comps on this? Well, you know, once again, I might be inclined to go back to our good friend 145 Holborne. So this thing started, let's go up here, contract date, started at the same price, $999. Okay? Held back offers, didn't get it. Went to $1,088,888 a couple weeks later, and then $1,001,000. That makes sense. Okay, so we're at $999 now. We know they were looking for $1,001,000. That was in the fall. They didn't get it. The market's moved, man. Would you buy this house today for $1,001,000? I would. How much has the market moved? That's the crazy thing. So if you want to go back, so you can see here, 3 listings since they bought it. Let's do it in order of contract date, November 1st. So we were at $1,001,000, 8 days in the market. We terminated and we said, let's have a massive, quick math, $11,112 price reduction. We're on the market for a whopping 4 days. So we're not really like stick it out people, right? $1,001,000 and we panicked on November 1st. And then here we're what? A week later and we're gonna go 1088. And then we went $999.9. We did not sell this house. We did not sell this house for $999. So here we are now, $999. Hello. Offers 3 p.m. Thursday, February 27th. Yeah, doesn't that hurt? That was in November, December, January, February. 3 months later, what's this going to sell for? It's going to sell for $1,001,000 because there's nothing on the market. You could have had this house in November for $999. In fact, you could have had it. Look, $999, 19 days on the market. Look at this. Where is it here? Offers anytime. Offers anytime. And they're offering 2.75% commission because they don't know what they're doing. They're so desperate. They think that's what's going to do it. Now you've got $9.99. They switched agents. They've got one of the billboard people in this area that's doing it. And now it's going to sell for probably $100,000 over list. I'm going to flag this one, check, because I'm dying to know. And then you're going to look back and be like, I could have bought Apple when it was at X per share, because hindsight's all the rage. So in terms of location, Holborne, it's at Woodbine, just south of Cosborne. So, you know, it's a mixed bag in here. You get a lot of houses on various lot sizes. You get semis, you get detached, you get bungalows, and you get two-story. This one's kind of like sandwiched in between a couple different houses. I like the street. I've got a client, they bought, I think they paid $1,350,000 or something for bigger, newer 3-bed, 4-bath, I want to say. So great spot, definitely up and coming. And our last $9.99 property here today, guys. I really got to get moving. Come on, MLS, don't do this to me. Okay, so the last one here, guys, is 31 Baltic. Now, Baltic Avenue, Monopoly, terrible property, right? Baltic and Mediterranean, they're like $60. You do not want to put hotels or houses on those. Baltic and Toronto, great street. So I always put these two together, Fielding and Baltic. Now, Milverton, of course, goes east and west over Donlands, and Strathmore does as well. There's something about these two streets I really like. I don't know, maybe I'm romanticizing this a lot. Now, this property is interesting because they had a coming soon sign up for like a month. My partner and I were called in to do an appraisal on a house across the street, which, how would I put it, has basically been under renovation for 12 years and has 60 years worth of stuff in it. So this is drastically underlisted. Let's go through it first. It's a semi. It has 2-car parking off the lane, and it's an 18 by 125. It's basically a 3-bed, 2-bath, and then there's a 1-bed, 1-bath basement apartment. Does that make sense? Style's great. Photos are not. I don't know why people don't use a real photographer. I don't like this. That's a lot of space. That is a ton of space that you're taking up. But look, I like the style. Right? I like the fact that here you don't walk right in, it's totally open concept and you know where to put your coats. This is a nice shot here because they're showing that it's actually open. You can get 6 people, maybe 8 people for dinner, and if this goddamn thing wasn't here. But look, this is the original fireplace, and it looks to me like they said, why don't we use this chimney and we can exhaust this fireplace over here. Again, I don't love it, but I understand why they did it. The kitchen's the best part of this. So they put a 2-piece in the main. They've got a huge kitchen. They've got a beautiful kitchen. It's nicely upgraded. There's a ton of storage space. You're not going to complain about that. Then you've got the back mudroom. So this, to me, is where this house is, it's an A+ in terms of functionality. So there's the look of a house. There's the feel of a house. There's the nonsense marketing staging we do. And then behind it all is the functionality. So you have a lane, right? Lane parking. So you're coming in through the back. That's where your mudroom is. This makes sense. So see this little guy right here? What are we saying? We've got kids. We've got racks, we've got hooks, we've got drawers, we've got a ton of space for stuff and things. And I can tell you with a daughter that every morning, let's see, first the snow pants, then the boots, then the scarf, then the neck warmer, it's like 4 degrees out, then the hat, then the coat, then the mittens, won't let me help her, and has to do up her own zipper. So ton of space for stuff and things. Upstairs you can see not as renovated, right? You've got that kind of yellow brownish floor, but good principal room sizes. Right, I like the master. We're gonna miss a photo there. Decent storage space. Again, you can see this is a bit worn. Really, to me, it's about that main floor. That main floor is great. They've paved over the entire backyard. I mean, I guess your dog can piss there. Here's your 2-car parking. So you are essentially parking in your backyard. If you don't like it, just put up a fence here, and you don't have to stare at the cars. But this hits all the marks. And there, yeah, okay, so they put an actual photo there. You could build a garage if you wanted to. So what's this thing gonna sell for? All right. Let's take a look here, guys, at the only other comp that I can find, and this is on Fielding. So here we've got 2008. 2008, are you kidding me? We're going back like 21 months. You've got 1.2 million for a 3-bed, 2-bath, 16 by 125. It says they have a family room. I don't know, maybe. But if this is 1.2 million in 2008, what in the world is this now? So let's take a look again. Literally today, the comp is always what they bought. They paid $1,080,000 for this. They paid $1,080,000 in 2016. They paid $1,080,000 in 2016. And you know what, guys? It was all here, right? It was all here. They've done some built-ins and they've done some other things, but they paid $1,080,000 for this house in 2016. Now they're on the market at $999,000 3.5 years later. This is a $1.4 million house. Yeah. It's a $1.4 million house. So you've got what? We've got $999 that might be $1.1 million. We've got $999 that might be $1.2 million. We're climbing the ladder. You've got $999 that's going to be $1.4 million. Could be less. Can't imagine in this market. The irony is, you know, the Greenwood one that I showed you that was $945, and I'm going crazy because I wanted it for $9. There's way more pressure under $1 million. So maybe there's not as much pressure to push this, but I don't see, with the kitchen in the basement, with the 2-car parking, prestigious Baltic Avenue, not Monopoly, how does this thing not get $1.4 million? You know what? Maybe it only gets 1.35. But you can see, for those of you that are looking at $999 listings, how confusing this could be and how frustrating it can be as well. Because we've got a ton of different potential sale prices, all for 5 properties that are at $999. So that's it. I can't believe we did it. We made it, and I literally only stopped to talk to my wife twice and take about 6 phone calls, and people drop by. When the door's closed and it's locked and you start jiggling, right? Don't come in like I'm doing something in here. And the sticker on the door that says DND, that's for do not disturb. I don't know what else it could possibly mean. I don't take vacations. Yeah. I love the market we're in. It's fun, it's dynamic, and you know what? Maybe I'll die when I'm 60, but I frickin' love this market. I'm kidding, not kidding. Anyways, guys, I will end it there because I gotta go to a showing. But thank you again for watching. The market is crazy. You heard it here first. Have a fantastic weekend. Bye for now.